Up and down, across the earth and along the ground, they came upon a sight that astounded them all. Burning high above the world was a searing fire. On the very day it appeared, a great calamity struck in a distant land. None knew what had truly occurred. All they knew was that decay followed in its wake. To some, the fire burned black as shadow, a curse upon the world. To others, it shone like the sun, brightening the skies and bringing warmth to the land. Even now, none can say which vision was true, for both are accepted as one. The flame is seen as two sides of the same coin, the burning darkness of death and the radiant light that grants life. How one perceives it often reflects their place in the world. What the flame grants each person is unique, though some gifts resemble those of others. All worship the flame, whether they revere its light or fear its darkness. The world itself has been shaped by it. Though survival of the fittest is not the law, power sways the hearts of nations. The stronger the abilities carried within a bloodline, the greater influence that family commands. Yet there are always exceptions, those born to lesser families who possess power far beyond their station. Among those blessed by the flame of light, several bloodlines rose above the rest. First were the Medicas, whose gifts centered upon healing, restoration, and rebirth. Then came the Firemains, a family named less for their abilities than for their striking hair. Their powers dealt in illumination and illusion, bending both light and perception alike. Last among the great families of the light stood one of the oldest and most powerful bloodlines in all the world, the Light-Bearers. Masters of sacred flame and unmatched martial skill, the Light-Bearers became the de facto rulers of nearly every corner of civilized society. The families born beneath the fire of darkness were far less united than those of the light. Scattered across the world, their bloodlines were often feared, for their gifts revolved around death, decay, and the unknown. Among the most notable were the Shadow Hearts, whose powers allowed them to command and traverse the shadows themselves. Then there were the Keepers, not a single family, but several bound together beneath one name. Their gifts centered upon pestilence, rot, and decay. Yet despite the fear they inspired, they served a sacred role within society. All who die across the land are entrusted to the Keepers, for they alone tend the graveyards of the world and watch over the dead. Last among the great families of darkness were the Graves. Few beyond their bloodline remember their true family name, and those who do refuse to speak it, fearing curses, misfortune, or the judgment of both the fearful and the faithful alike. Their powers concern dominion over the dead, body and spirit alike. The in-betweens are perhaps the strangest among those gifted with power. In many cases, their abilities appear older than the twin flame itself. Some wield dominion over nature and beasts, while others possess intellect so vast it borders on the unnatural. The notable families among the in-betweens are numerous and varied. Yet for the purposes of this manuscript, only one truly matters to our tale, the royal family of the realm. Though their gifts first appeared around the same time as those born beneath the fires of light and darkness, the royal bloodline has never fit cleanly within either flame or house. Their power is inspiration. Unlike most abilities in the world, theirs passes with near certainty from one generation to the next. The royal family can inspire loyalty as easily as rebellion, courage as easily as fear, and greatness as easily as ruin. To prevent the throne from descending into tyranny, the crown has long surrounded itself with advisors drawn from every walk of life. In part, this tempers the ruler's influence. In part, it prevents the great factions of the world from turning upon one another. Even the royal family struggles to fully describe their gift. They inspire, yes, yet more accompanies it than mere influence. They are born with the charisma to lead and the wisdom to recognize their own failings. That does not mean the one upon the throne is always just. The irony, of course, is that their family name is Justice. The royal family known as Justice rules the country of Sloven, within the lands shaped by the twin flame. Though they are of the in-betweens, they are said to treat all people as equal before the law, even when equality itself feels unjust. Within Sloven, there are no true social classes. Instead, there exist courtly ranks, which grant responsibility rather than absolute political power. These ranks are generally respected, often earned through family prestige or personal merit. Yet every citizen retains certain rights that even the crown cannot strip away. No citizen may be killed on a whim, even under direct royal command. In the rare event such an act occurs without just cause, the offending party, regardless of rank, must provide reparations from their family's vaults. The citizen is then relocated to another city, both for their protection and to prevent reprisals. Other laws exist beyond these, though they will be addressed in due time. With the world now laid before you, we may begin the story proper. I will warn you now, I am not particularly skilled at this. Though I know the story, memory is a fragile thing, and the mind, especially with age, can be a fickle companion. I suppose I should tell you a little about myself. I am one of the in-betweens. The ability I possess is rare among all powers that have ever existed. Every side in this conflict has sought it, or at least some version of it that I do not believe exists now, if it ever did. My family name is not one spoken freely. It is reserved only for those who can be trusted, and those who can defend themselves from those who would come hunting. Many who learn of us would kill without hesitation, believing we have uncovered some forbidden power simply by speaking our name. The last person I revealed my true name to was one of the king's highest advisors, another man whose own family name has been lost to time, though for very different reasons. My kind are often mistaken for immortals. We are not. Our ability, if it can be called that, grants us extremely long lives and near immunity to poison and disease. But we can be killed like any other, by sword, spear, arrow, even a fall from a great height. Those who come for us rarely understand this. They only see the length of our lives. To clarify, when I say we live long lives, I do not mean merely longer than average. Some of us have been known to live for millennia. I myself am older than the twin flame. I witnessed its appearance, and the chaos that followed. That chaos shaped much of the world you now see. And yet, even I am not the oldest. There are those older still. We do not know where our longevity comes from. Some claim it is tied to the forest where we first emerged. Others believe it is a gift, or curse, from gods worshipped before the twin flame. Whatever the truth, we have been hunted since before the flame's arrival, by nobles, zealots, and madmen alike. Strangely, beyond our long lives and resistance to disease and poison, we are unremarkable. Our magical development is, in most cases, below average, with one exception: spirit magic. Even then, we are outshone by some among the graves. But I digress. While my people are important to certain events that will follow, we are not the center of this story. The beginning follows a rather strange path. I will do my best to guide you through it. Our story begins, as many do, with the birth of a child. He is born in the city of Blackwater, named for the river that runs beside it. Its waters are so dark they seem to swallow the light that falls upon them. The child is born into a line touched by the fire of darkness, though not directly of the graves themselves. His father carries grave's blood, granting him communion with the dead. He is a fortune-teller of sorts, able to speak with spirits to glimpse future events and uncover fragments of the past. His mother is of the Shadowheart family, gifted with the ability to shape shadow into physical form. Blades, shields, even simple objects such as chairs can be formed at will. Yet her gift carries a limitation. The shadow must remain touched to be given form. Without that connection, the constructs pass harmlessly through any who attempt to grasp them. Together, they form something uncommon among the fires of darkness, a new house of their own. They take the name Gosts. This union is significant. It marks the first known intermarriage between families of the higher orders of the fire of darkness. While such unions are common among those touched by the fire of light, they are nearly unheard of, and often considered forbidden, among the darker families, whose arts are guarded closely and passed only within bloodlines. To merge two such lines is not merely unusual, it is dangerous. Every family beneath the twin flame possesses a secret art passed from one generation to the next. These arts help define not only the strengths of a bloodline, but the identity of each individual within it. Those born beneath the fire of light are comparatively open about their techniques. Their abilities grow through discipline, training, and experience. Even when an opponent understands the nature of their art, there is often little that can be done to counter it directly. The families of darkness are different. They guard their secret arts with extreme care, for knowledge of those arts can mean the loss of their power entirely. Unlike the light, many among the darker bloodlines anchor their abilities to something beyond themselves. The method differs from family to family, sometimes even from person to person. Yet the underlying principle remains much the same. The keepers, for example, draw strength through the graveyards under their care. The graves and the shadow hearts, however, practice something far more refined. The child's parents are prime examples of both the individuality of each practitioner and the nature of their bloodlines as a whole. Among the shadow hearts, power is condensed into a construct known as a shadow's heart, the origin of the family's name. Once formed, the heart grants its wielder the ability to traverse shadows themselves, allowing them to step from one darkness into another, as though crossing a doorway. The distance one may travel depends entirely upon the strength of the heart and the time and energy invested in its creation. Each shadow's heart takes a unique form chosen by its creator. Over time, as its wielder grows in power, rings may begin to form around it. These rings are marks of capacity and strength. Most shadow hearts possess only a single ring in their lifetime. The child's mother, however, was believed to possess two, perhaps even three. As for the true shape of her heart, that was known only to her. The secret art of the Graves family is guarded so fiercely that, in truth, it has become something of an open secret. Given both the difficulty of creating a power core and the methods required to destroy one, I sometimes question why they guard the process so carefully at all. A Graves practitioner forms their core by selecting an object and channeling their power into it over time. As the wielder's strength grows, so too does the core itself. Greater power causes the object to expand beyond its original form, while increased intricacy allows for finer control over the abilities tied to it. The chosen object often depends upon the branch of the Graves family from which one descends. The child's father belonged to a branch that favored small pebbles known today as spirit stones. Their remarkable adaptability to various forms of energy makes them ideal vessels for power cores. His own core took the form of an elaborate necklace. While not the largest core ever recorded, it was considered exceptionally large for his branch, where most cores are simple rings worn upon the hand. Other branches of the Graves have been known to craft cores from larger objects, such as staves or swords. The father's necklace revealed two things clearly. He possessed both immense power and extraordinary control.